You'd be willing to shut down the government and potentially default for the first time in United States history because it bothers you so much that we're actually going to make sure that everybody has affordable health care. Let me say, as clearly as I can, it is not going to happen. We have come too far. We've overcome far darker threats than those.
What a demagogue. That was President Obama laying down a hard line in the debt ceiling debate at a speech to Congressional Black Caucus last night. Is slamming Republicans the best way to avert a government shutdown? Joining us now is Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich. Katie, I'm shocked. I mean, I'm shocked by that. I'm not an Obama voter, but I always give the president the benefit of the doubt. I try to anyway. He's saying, A, that Republicans are against this because they just don't want to give people health care. They have some irrational aversion to health. And B, to the Congressional Black Caucus, that we've overcome far darker threats than these. If that's not a dog whistle, like, I don't even know what the term means.
Exactly. Well, you combine this with his comments last week about extortion, and you really can't go anywhere from there. What kind of debate is it when you're simply accusing Republicans of extortion and saying that people just don't want you to have health care? When President Obama says that he wants to give affordable health care to everyone, Obamacare is not the way to do that. We know that. When it comes to negotiating with Congress and the people that he's berating here and using this language against, President Obama seems to be fine with negotiating with people like Iran and President Putin, but he doesn't seem interested in negotiating with people like John Boehner, despite the American people saying by a 44-22 margin, according to a Wall Street Journal poll last week, that they don't want the debt ceiling raised.
That rhetoric is so outrageous and so over the top. And for a guy who's smart and understands language and cares about language, I think the president cares about language, to use words like that really tells you how desperate they are. Let me ask you, though, in fairness, the president's refusing to negotiate with John Boehner, but if he did negotiate with the Speaker of the House, would the Speaker really be representing all Republicans? Or is the Republican Party really fractured over this?
Well, the Republican Party is fractured over it because they're afraid of the fallout of what would happen should we not increase the debt ceiling. But you look at the polling, as I just mentioned, and the American people don't want more debt. And when it comes to President Obama repeatedly blaming Republicans for, and somehow telling them that they're not willing to help people with health care, or that they're extorting the American people for not raising the debt ceiling, or that kind of language, let's go back to 2006 when President Obama himself said an increase in the debt ceiling was a failure of leadership. So the American people and the Republicans are simply holding Barack Obama to his own standard, and now all of a sudden he can't handle it, and he's using this incendiary rhetoric back towards the Republicans when really they're just simply asking for a move that he actually voted for in 2006.
They just want people to be sick. They're not for health. It's just weird. They're weird that way. Katie Pavlich, thanks for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.